Hey guys, this is just a pre-video warning before my intro. If you are sensitive to panic attacks, PTSD, self-harm, anything of that sort, if you are triggered by that, I would advise you to please click off this video. Since this video is all about my service dog's task, please do not watch this if any of that will cause harm to you or cause stress to you. I would hate for someone to get hurt from watching my video. Anyways, thank you guys. Hope you enjoy it.
Even when the dark comes crashing through, when you need a friend to carry you, and when you're broken on the ground, you will be found. So let the sun come streaming in, 'cause you'll reach up and you'll rise again. Lift your head and look around. You will be found. You will be found.
What's up, you guys? It's Jax from Jax's Life, and today we have a pretty awesome video for you guys. So, I've been talking through my past few videos on this channel, not past few videos, pretty sure on my last video on this channel that wasn't my intro, that we were talking about my service dog's tasks, which is something that every service dog YouTuber, I believe, should put out there. If they're vlogging their service dog and their life with a service dog, they should identify what their service dog tasks are. So today I have my no pictures please journal here, which I carry around everywhere, because people like to stare at my service dog, so it says no pictures please, and it's very flashy. So I have a lot of non-service dog related stuff in here, but yeah, this is the full sheet of the tasks that my service dog does for me. And this will be updated as we go, because every single day I think of a new task that she needs. So, at least. So, first we're going to start with my first disorder, which is my panic disorder, which also ties in with my PTSD. So, I'm going to put my PTSD and panic disorder as one category, as some of the tasks are similar. So, these are my PTSD specific tasks. And the first one that she does, which is PTSD and panic disorder, is self-harm prevention. Some of the things that I do when I'm anxious or in an episode is I scratch. I scratch my arms, my legs, my neck, my thigh, my stomach, just everywhere. I scratch and scratch. So she is trained to paw, and if I don't stop, she's trained to jump on me and like hold down my arms so that I cannot self-harm. Burning, which is something I actually have only done a few times, but I still trained her how to handle that. Burning is like lighting a lighter and then making the flame go off and then taking the hot metal part that the fire was just coming out of without the fire going and pressing it against my skin. I do not do that anymore, just in case I ever were to go into such a far panic attack that I wasn't thinking properly, that she could stop that if it were to happen. Biting. Now this is kind of weird, but a lot of people do it actually. When I'm anxious, I'll bite my wrists and my arms. Like if I'm sitting there like this, I'm usually biting my thumb right there or my arm, which is kind of disgusting. And hair pulling, which when I'm anxious, you'll see in videos if I'm anxious, I'm running my hand through my hair, and sometimes when I'm in an episode I'll grab it and just start pulling on it, and it's not good and it will hurt later, so I make her stop. The next task is hyperventilation alert. When I start breathing heavy, this is a PTSD and panic attack task. When I'm getting anxious and I get to a higher level of anxiety, I start to breathe heavy. Right now I'm only breathing heavy because I'm talking a lot. If you notice, I'm talking a lot. Elise is not out here because there's this giant field right here that I would usually let her run in, but it's wet and I don't really want her to go inside soaked. So yeah, heavy breathing. And when I breathe heavy, I get really lightheaded, so sometimes I stumble or I slow down. Those are alerts for her that she does. The shaking alert, and when I shake, like my entire body shakes, like my thighs will shake, it's not the shaking the leg where you have that anxiety thing where you're sitting there and your leg just goes up and down. No, mine are trembling. I'm trembling all over, and she knows that that is either a sign of fear, which means I'm going into an episode, or that is a sign that I'm going into a definite panic attack. So that is also a PTSD panic attack task. Now when I shake, I am going into a definite panic attack, because at that point I am already panicked enough to where I'm shaking. So at that point, the only thing she can do is get on top of me, perform deep pressure therapy, try to get my mind off of it, and there's a slight chance that I will not go into a full-blown panic attack, but there is a high chance I will have a mini panic attack. So yeah, I also have to put the trigger warning at the beginning of this video, so I'll go back and film that. Backing up. Now, this is something that I actually didn't realize that I had been doing. When I'm in an episode, or I'm just thinking back, I tend to not hear things around me. And when I get too caught up, I'll just start like slowly moving back and slowly moving back. And it's hard to notice. I never move back fast. So I taught her that when I'm slowly backing up, that is an issue. And she will follow me and jump on me because that's the only way she's going to get my attention. I'm not going to notice if she's just lightly pawing at my leg, which is what she usually does for alerts, like shaking. She'll paw, and if I wave her off, she'll get on top of me because she gets mad that I'm waving her off. And then self-harm on the arm, she'll paw and like slap my hand away from it, so that's fun. This is a specific PTSD task, and when I'm mid-panic attack because of my PTSD, I trained her to find an exit. Now, some of these things are not fully trained. Some of them are touched on. This is one of the ones that are touched on. If I say, Elise, find an exit, she'll get close to an exit, and then she'll look up at me as like, am I doing this? Am I supposed to be doing this? She'll kind of like follow me. And as long as I don't redirect her and she's going in the right direction, she just keeps doing that. And if I have to redirect her, I have to redirect her. So this kind of the touched on. I really do need to train her to find an exit in Walmart because that is where I tend to have most of my panic attacks. So yeah, I'm going to be more touchy on that. But I train her to find an exit if I'm feeling claustrophobic, which is why I can't film in the house, is because I have huge anxiety about that. So when I'm feeling anxious and claustrophobic and I need to get out, she will find an exit and lead me to fresh air, which is a huge thing that calms down my panic attacks and PTSD episodes, is fresh air. Like, my God, I love fresh air. I love being outside, so that is definitely one of the things that calms me down. Another one, which is specifically a PTSD. I don't want her to find help. This is a find help task. When I'm having a panic attack, I don't want her to find help. When I'm having a PTSD episode, I want her to find help. And finding help is like finding a stranger. If she can't get me out of an episode, I want her to find the closest person to me, bring that person to me, and try to get them to help me get out of an episode if she can't get me out. Panic attacks, no one can help me with. She has to be the one to help me. Nobody can get me out of them. It has to be her. And this is because I don't like people very much. I'm a social anxiety maniac. So I get really anxious, and when people try to help me, they're not helping. They're making it so much worse. So now we are on to the panic disorder specific tasks. And I think there's only 2 panic disorder specifics. The other ones that were listed for panic disorder was self-harm prevention, hyperventilation, and shaking, which are obvious panic disorder tasks, but they also tie into my PTSD. These 2 do not tie into my PTSD. They can, but they don't. Find mom, which she knows my mom and my little brother. She sends them. She knows they're sent. She's good with that. So when I say, Elise, find mom, she'll find her, and she'll go straight to her. It takes her a minute, but she'll eventually find her. And that's not one of my PTSD ones, because I'm not going to make her go through an entire store to find my mom. I just need her to find the closest person to me, which most of the time is some stranger in an aisle with me. And then pull, or slight mobility. Now you may be like, I'm a little bit overweight to have slight mobility, but the thing with the slight mobility is it's not necessarily enough mobility that it will hurt her. I just need her to walk a little bit faster than me, get a little bit ahead of me, and give me a little bit of momentum, which is really what the task should be called, is momentum, the momentum task. I'm looking for a pull strap so that she has a really strong pull. She can pull me across the store if she really wants to. If I give her the command pull, she doesn't get hurt. She just rockets through the store, and it's amazing to watch her do it. So it's just slight momentum, and she can do it really well, especially after a panic attack. She knows, this is where I have to be on my best game. If I say pull and I'm not having a panic attack, she's not really on her best game. She kind of like irresponsibly pulls, but when she's actually working, she knows what to do. Now this is for my MDD, or major depressive disorder. These are the tasks that she's going to be trained, or is trained. She's trained both of these tasks. One of them we've touched on, we've tried to train, we're working on it. The medication reminder is the one that we've touched on and we're working on. Basically, whether I'm asleep or awake, an alarm goes off on my phone, which is a medication reminder. If it does not wake me up, she will know that that's the sound for medication. She'll wake me up. And then getting out of bed. When I'm in a depressive episode, I don't want to get out of bed. I lay there, I watch YouTube, I sleep. She gets me out of bed. She's like, Mom, I need to eat. And Mom, I need to go outside. And it's kind of like, she just gets me out of bed. She knows to do that. Now, these are in general tasks, things that she does for me besides deep pressure therapy, because I've actually heard that deep pressure therapy is not considered a task. So remember that. If you have a service dog and the only thing it knows is deep pressure therapy, that is not a task. That is not a service dog. So the in general thing she does is these doors that go into in and out of the rooms. They have handles on them that you could put a leash strap to, not those circular handles. So I tie a chew toy onto it and give her the task, open it. And she'll pull the toy and tug it back, and it'll open the door fully. And she can also close doors by outside. I'll say, close it, and she'll tug it closed. So yes, she's very good at that. Pressing buttons, like handicap buttons or elevator buttons. She knows how to press an elevator button, which is one of the first things we worked on. We haven't worked on handicap buttons yet. We need to work on that just in case, having a really bad anxiety day and I can't walk or I get my gallbladder surgery. She has to know how to open a handicap door, so that's what we're going to be working on immediately, because she knows the elevator, but there's not many handicap doors where I live, surprisingly. So she knows how to press an elevator button. So an elevator button and a handicap button are sort of similar. If she can press an elevator button, I imagine that she can press a handicap button. Brace. It's a light brace. I don't put a lot of pressure on her. Basically, I'll get up onto my knees and I'll get one foot up, and then I'll just need to hold on to her. I don't put any pressure on her to lift my other foot. I can fully do it myself. I tumble forward if I'm like shaky. And retrieving things, which is something that we have to work on. We haven't even touched on it. I need advice on how to teach this. So if you have any advice on how to teach retrieval of items, please let me know. Please, please, please let me know. I really want her to learn it, because I need her to retrieve her leash, because bending over puts a lot of stress on me. No, not because I'm overweight, because it makes me feel vulnerable in a way. So I don't like bending over to pick up things in public or even in my own house when I'm not alone. So I'll have her retrieve things for me. And also, if I'm in an anxiety episode, I need her to retrieve my anxiety medicine or my PRN medicine for anxiety, which is prescribed as needed. Medicine from wherever it is. I need to teach her how to retrieve it and bring it back to me, or how to retrieve water and bring it back to me. Just whatever I need her to be able to retrieve it if I'm in an anxiety episode, or if it'll just be handy, like if I'm like by the door and I'm like, Elise, go get your leash, and she'll go get it, and then we can leave. It saves time. So yeah, so those were all of her tasks. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please leave a like if you agree with anything I said in this video, or just liked watching her tasks, or leave a comment below if you have anything, if you can suggest anything to help us improve our channel, or you can suggest videos down below. Please subscribe to join the family if you would like to join me and my animals on our journey against mental illness. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.